Can we talk about Kristi Noem and these ridiculous photo ops? Why does she have to keep doing this? She's doing a great job. Like, her actual performance as DHS secretary, in my view anyway, has been amazing. Just stop trying to glamorize the mission and put yourself in the middle of it as you cosplay ICE agent, which you're not. I can't stand these photo ops, you guys. I think they diminish ICE. They diminish DHS, CPB. She's not an agent. She is an administrative policy person appointed by Trump because she was very loyal to him. Fine. But stop with the glam. I mean, she looks like I look right now, but she's out in the field with her gun being like, we're going to go kick some ass. No one wants you there. First of all, nobody ever wants the extra lady who doesn't actually belong. They just don't. Pro tip, as somebody whose brother is a cop, they don't want you there, even if, you're an attractive lady who just wants to. They don't want you. There are lives on the line. They may say that you can come because you're DHS secretary, but these guys are going to be much safer if you have nothing to do with it. And sure enough, she went on one of these raids and somebody tried to kick her. It's like she's looking for an opportunity to have that happen. I have had it up to here with all of this. Carl, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. But Kristi Noem has a recent history of being very bad at public relations. I happen to know I have an inside knowledge about this. That thing that she put in her book about shooting dogs, or her
cricket.
dog.
Little cricket.
Yeah. Well, she put that in her first book, which came out a few years ago. But the editors there took it out. They said, "What is wrong with you? We're not putting that in your book about shooting dogs."
Killing.
But what happened was that editor left. And she went back to the same publishing house. It was now run by kind of younger people, and they didn't stand up to her. And she saw the opportunity. She said, I'm going to put that back in. Boy, that belongs in my book. So let's just say public relations is not her natural forte.
Well, why doesn't somebody save her from herself? I mean, someone in the administration has got to pull her aside and say, enough. All right, just stop. Stop wearing the ICE jacket. Stop going on TV. And by the way, Tom, a bunch of gun enthusiasts, and you put this out to people on the right in particular, they will look at everything you do with a gun, are ripping her, because if you look at the gun, it's pointed right at the head of that guy right next to her. I think this is an ICE worker, right at his head. Now her finger's not on the trigger, but a bunch of gun enthusiasts are like, you don't point a gun at your compatriot's head for a photo op.
At least it's not pointed as a dog.
Well, she actually knows how to handle a gun, as we know from not just cricket, but she's from South Dakota, pheasant hunting and the like. I mean,
just cricket.
Yeah,
she shot a goat too. Yeah.
But look, I totally agree with you, and I'll forgive her the first, I guess when she went out on this raid or whatever. I think a lot of Trump officials wanted to show that they were sort of taking action and show themselves in action. They're actually responding. They're not just sitting behind a desk. Pete Hegseth went and worked out with the troops and things of that nature. And so I think that was serving a purpose. But, standing at the prison again in front of all those guys, I mean, that was ridiculous. This one's ridiculous. And ironically, Trump hired a lot of his people. He likes people who have media experience, who can go on TV and handle questions from the mainstream media folks and the like. And so I think maybe she thinks that this is what Trump wants, to see her and for her to be out front and making headlines and being in the newspapers. But to your point, I think it's a bit over the top and not doing her or the administration any favors with the way that they're just sort of comically staged. Here
is a post from Jonathan T. Gilliam. He's been on the show. Christian Navy SEAL, not this one, I think, but earlier ones, multiple times. Christian Navy SEAL, FBI agent, Air Marshal, among his other accomplishments. These social media posts devalue everything you are doing right. Secretary Noem, are you the Secretary of Homeland Security, or are you a social media influencer? Because if you are the boss, you wouldn't be slinging a weapon and kicking in doors. So unless you are issued that weapon, you should not be holding it for posts and pics. Screwing around with guns for social media would get anyone that works under you fired. I can't understand why you and others in the administration continue to parade yourselves in such an unprofessional, juvenile, self-serving way. You aren't running for office. You're running a federal agency. Do that or resign. Here she was on, because that photo op we just showed included video. And here's how she described the big mission she was about to go on.
Here we are with Marco and Brian today. They're letting me roll with them. We're going to go out and pick up somebody who I think is got charges of human trafficking. We earlier had an op that swept up somebody who was wanted for murder. So appreciate the good work that they do every day, and we appreciate them working to make America safe.
So, Carl, she doesn't even know who they're arresting. Someone who I think is wanted for human trafficking. That's just a dumb mistake. This undermines, look at how we spent the first 40 minutes of the show, what we were talking about, right? Like, are we getting the right people? Who's on board those flights to El Salvador? She's the secretary of DHS. It is not helpful to Team Trump in these courts every day to have the DHS secretary being like, I think he did human trafficking. And next thing you know, that guy's in El Salvador in prison.
Well, that's what I hate to keep harping on poor Abrego Garcia, but that's the White House press secretary accused him of engaging in human trafficking. He was never, that just came out of nowhere. This seems to be a go-to phrase for them because they think people will hear it and go, well, gosh, yeah, shoot him. Don't even send him to El Salvador. Human trafficking, murderers. But to your point, in all seriousness, she should use very precise language. They should be careful about the law, and she shouldn't even be standing there with a gun. She should be doing what you said, Megyn. I guess I'd nominate you for the job right now. Could you take her job?
Well, you know what? I would do it the way a prosecutor does it. It's fine for a prosecutor to go to the scene as the cops are collecting evidence and doing the jobs that they are experts at. But you don't see prosecutors trying to act like they're the forensic expert on the scene and dissecting the body or making sure that nobody gets near the scene. They're there because they're the ones who are going to have to argue it in court, and they just want to make sure they can say they were there, that there's nothing really abnormal happening. That's fine. But she's doing much more than that. She's actually going on these raids with them. She's cosplaying ICE agent. And she, of course, is doing it with like 25 pounds of hair, only to be outdone by her 30 pounds of makeup and false eyelashes. There's no false eyelashes on an ICE raid. I can't, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm over it. Okay, let's keep going.
Wait, Megyn.
Tariffs? Yeah, go ahead.
Wait. If you take that job, and you have to give up this podcast, you'll come on our podcast?
Yes,
and talk
I will. I will come on your podcast.
All right. Okay. All right.
I mean, look, that's the irony here is I don't really love Kristi Noem. My audience knows that. She lost me with a few things, but really shooting the puppy in the face was ridiculous. And then the alleged affair with Corey Lewandowski, that's very bad. While she's parading herself as this family woman, and she came on the show and she really had me. She had me as this like family woman. And I read her book and then just so many things. But anyway, I am past that. I am totally rooting for her as DHS secretary. But I wish she would stop this nonsense. It's not a job in which she should showcase her vanity, right? It's a job in which she should just keep us safe. And she's doing a good job of that, but she's undermining it. Tariff wars, stubborn inflation. No wonder gold has been routinely hitting all-time highs. In volatile markets like the one we have now, don't sit on the sidelines with your head in the sand. You can take control and safeguard your savings. Aren't you thinking about that today? That's why so many Americans today are turning to Birch Gold Group. They've helped tens of thousands convert an existing IRA or 401k into one in physical gold. Is it time for you to hedge against economic instability or market instability with gold? To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. Again, just text MK to the number 989898. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, Birch Gold has helped many protect their savings with gold. It took us decades to get into the tangled mess we're trying to unpack right now. How long will it take to get out of it? And at what cost? Text MK to 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.